Alright guys, Scrappy here today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. HyDra's been on a rampage over the last couple of days, winning with the Los Angeles Thieves the KSN 50,000 tournament, and immediately afterwards calling out his former teammate on the New York Subliners, the team that he left of course after last season, and that team has completely blown it up. The HyDra has arguably been carrying over the last couple of years, but was that the full story of what happened on Subliners, especially because that team won the World Championship back in 2023? Is it possible that Gentlemate, effectively HyDra's former team, will be able to do a number on Thieves this year? Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into. Tournaments concluding yesterday. I think Formal's team might have made the grand final of this one, but it was actually iMarksman's team that took the victory and Hitch's $10,000 creator-related tourney. There was also this tourney, Ronnie's tournament. CDL Screamintel put this one on SGP. They went up 2-0 in the finals. That's JoeDeceives, Fame, Exceed, and DiamondCon. Fame had a nice little 1v2 gun on here. We know about this spot, don't we, right? This kind of cheese spot for the top of Protocol. He gets the first kill, and then obviously Mercules has to go for the defuse. He drops down and gets the second kill as well. So yeah, there were some rumours that this spot had been patched, but seemingly not as of yet. And it's kind of like, what is the counter to this really? He's in a 1 versus 2. It's tricky, isn't it? Because if you're the team trying to defuse the bomb, you know, given the side that it's planted on, that it's possible that Fame does exactly what he does. But, you know, he's only going to make that play a certain percentage of the time. So if you are Exceed or whoever's trying to defend the bomb diffuser, what's your play? Like, do you just try and control top mid and control this angle? But if you do that, then he's got no help if Fame happens to be down low. So it's a tricky spot. Of course, it can be countered, right? You know, but the issue is that you're trying to defuse the bomb and you've got to ensure that you have top mid control, because otherwise this can happen, which isn't necessarily ideal, but it is a feature of the map right now. Throwing a nade down this chute to potentially get on the bomb, I don't think is a big deal. The fact that you can shoot through it is maybe a bit too strong. But yeah, those boys end up winning the tournament, so congrats to these fellas. Of course, all players, as we've talked about over the last few days, who have been in and around the league over the last several years. Octane is pretty funny, obviously, because we know that the tournament that KSN run, the $50,000 LAN, it was delayed heavily, to say the very least, with all the technical problems they had. It wasn't even necessarily technical, it was more game-related issues, right? The game, the private matches not wanting to start in various situations, and Octane saying that, you know, he effectively called it a day, and then they won the tournament. So, you know, Octane's like, wow, might be a bit of a watch party curse on this one. But as the OpTic guys say, especially JP, good reps to start the season. We still don't know. Okay, today's the 11th. The rumour has it that tomorrow or over the next couple of days, the CDL are going to confirm what the season is. It usually happens before now, surely, right? I mean, it usually happens about when the game releases. The game's now been out like 3 weeks, and yet we still have no info from the league on when the first matches are going to be. The initial rumour was, a while ago now, that the first matches were going to be in, like, basically starting now, right, end of November, until a December 1st event, but that December 1st event never materialised, and therefore the matches are getting pushed back. We think until the start of next month sometime. The rumour has it anyway that start of December, online qualifiers, then possibly a minor tournament online in January, with the first major in Barcelona in February. That's the rumour. That's the information based on leaked internal documents that have seemingly hit the, well, the eye of some of the journalists and reporters in the space. JKL's been talking about it, for example, so, you know, that's what we expect to happen, and presumably they're going to confirm it kind of soon. The issue is for OpTic, or for all the other teams, is they've just played this great event, got some good practice in, as he says, you know, good reps to start the season off, but they can't play again for months until February when that first event comes around. And okay, they will be playing in a few weeks in official CDL games. It might be beneficial, and it is interesting that, I wouldn't say the rich get richer precisely, but, you know, the reality here is that the best teams in the game, OpTic, Thieves, FaZe, and obviously Cloud9 were along for the ride as well, but, you know, they got extra practice on LAN against the other top teams that could prove to be, down the line, a bit of a sizable advantage when the season begins. But at this event, there were loads of clips coming through, and some entertaining ones at that. Pred obviously was talking a bit of trash. They, basically, Pred talked on Kremp, right? You know how that goes. And, yeah, so Mack and Kremp then kind of fought back on the other side. The reality is it didn't matter for Cloud9. They couldn't deliver the performance they were hoping to, and OpTic took the victory. But possibly the clip of the day after the tournament ended was this one here from HyDra. Now, look, sure, he's joking. But behind every good joke, there's a grain of truth, isn't there, right? So he says this in jest to some degree, but, you know, would he have said this if he didn't think it, at least to some extent? HyDra knows full well that over the last couple of years, winning with the New York Subliners was a challenge. He could do it on occasion. They won champs in 23. They made the grand finals of champs this year. They won an event this year at Major 4, but it was, you know, not a LAN with fans or whatever, so it probably felt not quite the same as the other LAN wins that some of the teams got. The year before, 2023, was excellent. Obviously, they won 3 events that season, very impressively so. But last year for HyDra wasn't where he wanted to be. We know that HyDra's talked about if the record is 3 World Championship rings, he wants 4. If the record is 4, he wants 5. So you don't get that by being happy with second place. So HyDra's plan for sure is to try and take it to the next level this year. And then HyDra makes the comment on, well, these boys I'm playing with now, Envoy instead of Kismet, Scrappy instead of, you know, Sib or Priestahh over the last couple of years, and then Ghosty instead of Skyz is a far better combo. And obviously, Cinder's in the background being like, wow, that's kind of crazy because I worked with those boys as well. But look, fundamentally is what HyDra's actually saying, bang on the money.
LA, and it's for moments like this coming out on top. How does it feel to get this win?
I mean, it feels great to be back under LA Thieves, 100 Thieves, whatever you want to call it. I mean, having this group of guys around me too is awesome, and I can't wait for bigger things this year.
You guys definitely got a lot of big things coming this way, especially if you're fighting adversities like this, Scrap, to come out on top. How does it feel after everything that happened today? Single tap allegations, reverse sweeps, a lot of things went down. How does it feel for you to get this win?
For not scrimming at all? I mean, this was our first time kind of playing together, so I just think we had to catch some flow, and I don't know. That shit felt light, bro. I can't lie. That shit felt light in finals.
Hey, it looked good, okay? We saw the 4-1 up there. Ghosty, you're holding a trophy in your hand. How does it feel? Yeah, right? How does it feel to be holding a trophy and be a champion?
It definitely feels good. It's definitely, you know, it's a smaller one than a major for sure, but it's still a tournament win, and that's all that matters. I got a trophy.
It is, okay? And it is, you know, just a testament to what's coming to the future, Paco, okay? You know, you come out with these boys, a lot of high shooters over here. How does it feel to be teaming with these 3?
Those guys are way better than my old teammates. No, I'm trolling. But
you know, Paco still loves y'all, but he gonna tell it like it is. This the new team.
I'm trolling, obviously, but no, those guys are God. Like, I mean, it's so easy to play with them, so.
It definitely was, okay? Now, step in here. Now, this has been an awesome tournament, but every tournament needs a tournament MVP. And so for me to announce that your tournament MVP is Cinder! Come on, Cinder. You know, you always there for the team, the boys, the community when they need you the most. How does it feel to be as reliable as you are and to have so much love?
Listen, I'm running the backstage. I'm running the front stage. Get me in the lobby, bro. Let me play against anyone. You guys are ass, bro.
So people are going to fall 2 ways on this, aren't they, right? And this is always the thing with players when they are especially good at the game. They will develop, you know, understandably, you've got to have a bit of an ego if you're going to be a top player in any sport. Certainly that is true here in Call of Duty Esports as far as I'm concerned. And it was a big talking point, let's not forget, when HyDra was linked to go to OpTic. You guys, you know, might remember this. I mean, you probably will if you've been around it for years. But OpTic HyDra was going to be a thing. There was a rumor it was going to be, what, Scump was going to stay, Shotzzy was going to stay, and then like Dashy was going to go for Cammy, and aBeZy was going to go for HyDra, and Scump was going to turn to the flex basically, and it was going to be a HyDra, Shotzzy, Scump, and Cammy lineup of 4, and that could have been incredible. Of course, in the end, it worked out for OpTic because Scump decided no, he would stay around, but they will bring back Dashy and aBeZy after all, which they did. That lasted about 2 months before they then blew up the team after the first event didn't really go to plan. Dashy gets kicked, Scump retires, Dashy then comes back, it's all sort of chaos. But of course that did set them up to get Pred, and eventually set them up to get Kenny, and now they're world champions, right? So it kind of worked out in the end regardless. But OpTic could have had HyDra, it was very, very close to being a done deal. But when that didn't happen, lots of the reaction at the time was, oh well, this HyDra guy's a bit of a diva. Because at the time, there was all sorts of drama in the end of Vanguard with that subliners team, right? HyDra and Kremp were going at it. You know, like obviously Kremp made his thoughts quite clear, and there was a general feeling that HyDra was oh, well, he might be a talented player, but does he, get too many kills for what his impact actually is? Does he have too big of an ego for the level of player that he is? Stuff like this that was talked about at length at the time. And there were many OpTic fans that were very happy they weren't getting HyDra because they felt like he was a player who was, sure, good on paper, but wasn't actually going to be able to win. But obviously the next year proved otherwise when he ended up winning the World Championship. So I guess the question is, was the team set up around HyDra for him to succeed and win, or was he carrying the team on his back? I think there's kind of two schools of thought on this. The truth may be, and maybe someone sometimes often is, somewhere in the middle. I'm not sure it's so clear-cut that HyDra was the absolute do-it-all for subliners and, the other guys are basically dead weights the HyDra was carrying over the line. To be fair, at times in 2023, it did kind of feel like that, and even in times in 2024. To less extent this year, just because this was a pretty rough stage, to be fair. Sib had a bit of a downstage here, and when Sib had the downstage at Major 3, Skyz wasn't great, Kiz wasn't great, and again, HyDra was basically doing it all. Like, in terms of kills per 10, damage per... look at those numbers. Kills per 10 minutes, damage per 10 minutes in the hard points. All his team is at 20. He's at 26. We're just talking levels here. And it's a similar number, so similar in control. So there's definitely been truth to the fact that if you take HyDra out of this team, they'd be nowhere near as good. And we're going to see it this year. Kismet, Skyz, and Priestahh, running back the team from Modern Warfare 2 that won champs, are going to be with Lynz this year. So we'll see. Lynz is unlikely to be as good as HyDra. Very, very unlikely, in fact. So we're going to see, aren't we, this year? This is the event that they won, by the way. Again, HyDra's numbers this stage even got better somehow in hardpoint in terms of kills per 10 and damage per 10 than what we saw before. But this is kind of the debate that's been happening over the last few months is, okay, did Kismet and the other guys enable HyDra to play like this and be the star? I think that's true to some degree, but nonetheless, he is the star player and they are enabling him for a reason. He's the best player, and without him, they would be in a more challenging position, to say the very least. So, look, HyDra's joking on some level, but is he really? You look at the situation and you say, okay, HyDra left the team for a reason. He took the offer to go to Los Angeles Thieves for a reason, because he knew that theoretically the combination of Ghosty and Envoy was going to be stronger than the combination of Skyz and Kiz, added into the fact that you've got Scrappy there as well, who, sure, Sib is very good, but if I had to pick someone who's more likely to be on a winning team environment or whatever, I'd probably pick Scrappy over Sib, certainly would for now, although Sib is definitely a commendable player in his own right. So very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below on this one, because yeah, HyDra's at it again, and I wonder what this is going to mean in terms of the community. It's going to make him very well loved by the Thieves fans, obviously, that he's starting to dish it out a little bit, and I feel like sometimes just the fact that he's been playing with Scrap on the same team is going to bring this out of HyDra. We know that he's got a great personality. We don't see it that much because he doesn't stream all that often, but Scrappy and HyDra in the same team environment all the time is probably you're gonna get more of these moments out of HyDra, very unfiltered, and we're gonna talk about one more actually later on today. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Of course, they did win the finals in the end, so yeah, look at the performance, all in the green at the end of the day. That wasn't to be said very frequently for that subliners team. Now they're New York Cloud9 or Cloud9 New York, whatever they are, for the new season, but only Sib remains, right, because it's gonna be Gentle Mates, we believe, maybe representing LA, maybe representing Chicago, we don't really know right now, that are going to field Skyz, Priestahh, Kiz, and Lynz. I'm sure they're hearing these comments and thinking, alright, nice one, HyDra, we're going to take you down and get revenge when it matters on LAN. But whether their team is good enough for that is another question. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.
I asked Scrap this at the last K-On event, so I think I got to move on with you now. Give me your dream CDL, retired or not retired, blunt rotation.
All right, easily. I'm adding Scrap, of course. You got to throw Scrap on there. We're throwing Nate in there, easily.
It's a top 5.
Top 5, probably Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon for sure. And retired.
Whoever.
And retired. I'm gonna have to throw Bose in there.
Bose, okay.
Bose for sure. And who's coming in at the 5th slot? Who's coming in at the 5th slot? I'm probably gonna have to say, like, let's say Kremp. Bang.